All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Hey, we're kicking off this call as we're wrapped up Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody had a phenomenal weekend. Hopefully, you got to spend some time with your family and enjoy it and got to embrace the freedom that we all get to live because of those who sacrificed their lives for us. So, hopefully, you guys are coming off of a good weekend. We're going to jump into today's call talking about the 5 stages of an insurance agent. All right. And this is a revolving door. So whether you're a brand new agent or whether you've been doing this now for 5, 6, 7, heck, 20 years, pick which stage you're at. And after today's call, I'm going to help you guys get to the next stage. All right. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. But before we do that, let's jump into the verse of the day as we kick off this Tuesday morning. All right. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as if working for the Lord. Notice it didn't say, whenever you're doing what you want to do, work at it with all of your heart as if working for Him. It says, whatever you do. All right. This is a verse I try to keep in the back of my mind no matter what's going on in life, no matter what the day is holding, no matter what I'm actually doing. All right. But guys, this verse is so, it's a key, right? It's a key to being happy no matter what situation you find yourself in. So, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as if working for the Lord. That could be sweeping your kitchen floor, doing the dishes, all right, going out to eat with your spouse, playing with your kids, doing this job, going door to door, making the phone calls, right? So, good verse to kick off this Tuesday morning. Let's talk about the top 10 on the week last week. Coming in at number 10, we had Erin pick her top spot there. She put her name up on the leaderboard. Nice work to her. We had Jenny Ivy with a phenomenal week as she came in at number 9 on the week last week. Coming in at number 8, we had Becky claim her spot as she had a phenomenal week. Nice work to you, Becky. Coming in at number 7, we had Kelly take home that spot. Way to push your name up there in the top 10. Kelly coming in at number 6. We had Ray. Ray's been in the top 10 like back to back weeks. So nice work to him. Coming in next up, we had Dylan. Shout out to Dylan. I think Dylan had his personal best record of the year so far last week. So big shout out to him as he came in and took home number 5, claiming his spot in the top 5 there. Then coming in at number 4, we had none other than Julie Flincham with a phenomenal week like usual. Julie's just a beast. So hard to beat Julie. You can't ever take her out of the top 10. Every week she's in there. So nice work to her, Julie. Nice work to you, Julie. Coming in at number 3, we had Allison with a phenomenal week there. Nice work to her, El Chapo. Then coming in at number 2, it's been the back-to-back guys here the past couple of weeks. We had Corey coming in right behind Dennis at number 2. Big shout out to him. Hey, if you guys didn't listen to the call that me and him did, make sure you go back and listen to it as we recap the presentation and did some tweaking, right? So if you guys want to learn from a top agent who's also a brand new agent, go back and listen to that presentation call that we did last week. You can find it under the live tab in our YouTube channel there, but make sure you go back and watch it. But big shout out to him coming in at number 2 on the week. Coming in at number 1, we had Dennis, like usual, claiming the top spot there. So big shout out to him as he climbed to a huge week and set the pace for everybody else. So nice work to you guys, everybody that found themselves in the top 10. Way to go. Hey, if this live pauses on us, I'll come right back on here within a few seconds. The streaming here is being super slow. So hopefully you guys don't lose me today. But guys, super excited to talk about the 5 stages to success as an agent. You know, this is a business that has levels, right? It has stages. It has milestones for you to try to run to and for you to try to reach. And sometimes as agents, when we're not actually focused on what that milestone is, all right, we're not sure what stage we're on. Or sometimes if we're not careful, we might be an experienced agent who made it multiple stages up. And the next thing you know, we're like back on the first stage, right? So the 5 stages to success as an agent are something that I want you guys to keep on the forefront of your mind. I want it to be something that you run towards, something that you put on your vision board, right? Something that you're putting all of your focus and momentum in, because as you hit these stages, you will hit the financial freedom that is possible for you in this industry. But if you're not careful, all right, if you don't have that target in sight, sometimes you miss it. I'm reading a new book that Dave Ramsey wrote about his business, right? If it's a new book he just came out, it's about building the business that you love. And in the opening section of it, it's really interesting because he was talking about how he was golfing in, I think it was Scotland, and the fairway was really foggy. So on one of the courses they went to, you couldn't really see anything. You could just see like, a few yards in front of you, and then it was nothing but fog. So when they would hit the ball, it would just kind of go wherever they were guessing it should go. And a lot of times when you can't see so far ahead of you, you don't know where to hit the ball, right? And so that first course for them was very hard. But then he talked about how he went to a different course. And on this different course, even though it was still foggy, they had little flares in the ground to show you kind of the layout of the golf course. And he said it was so much easier to just hit the ball at those flares and work your way down the course than if you were just shooting off right into the fog, hoping something good would happen. Guys, this business is the same way. These 5 stages are those flares, right? That kind of direct your path, get you going in the right direction. And if you're not careful as an agent, you might just be wandering off out there like in the fog forever and never really get to experience the blessings that can come from following this career opportunity. So let's talk about stage 1. I want you guys to go in the WhatsApp chat as we go through this, or in the comments, and put what stage are you at currently. All right, now don't be embarrassed. We got agents at every single one of these stages. Put which one you're in as we go through this. The first stage, okay, is a rookie with a reason. What do I mean by a rookie with a reason? Let's say you're within your first year in insurance and you're here to prove something, maybe to yourself, to your family, to people that doubted you, to a past employer. You've got a reason that you found yourself getting that insurance license, going door to door, dialing the phones, right? You have a reason, all right? You've got a driving force. You got some momentum, all right? Maybe it's you're running towards financial freedom. Maybe you never had any time with your family before, and this is going to be the vehicle you use to get you the lifestyle that you guys always dreamed of being able to actually enjoy each other, enjoy some time together, right? So rookie with the reason, that's the first stage. Okay. And guys, sometimes you might be in this stage for a month. You might be in it for a year. But I would say under a year, this is where you should be at, right? So a rookie with a reason. What is your reason? If you're a brand new agent, go to the WhatsApp chat and put, why did you jump into this industry? Why did you get that insurance license? What are you running for, right? What is the reasoning behind what you're doing? All right. At this stage, you have no idea what you're really doing out there, right? You might know the presentation, the door approach, the phone script, but you don't know much other than that, right? You're just running out there. You're getting beat up a little bit, right? I think about, it's like being in boot camp. All right. When I was a brand new trying to become a Marine, I remember getting off the bus going on the yellow footprints, right? And it was really funny. I was picturing boot camp being like, you're going to get all this gear. You're going to get, physical fitness. It's going to be very like extravagant. It was so funny. We got in there. They gave us tennis shoes. All right. We didn't even get to wear our boots, right? Because they wanted you to get used to walking with shoes on before they let you go up to boots. You had to crawl before you could run type of thing. This might be the stage that you're in, right? You're excited, but you have no idea what to expect. And you have really no idea what you're doing yet, but you're just out there hustling. All right. So that's stage number one. All right. Let's talk about how to go from stage one to stage number two. All right. The coverage closer stage. This is the stage that you're not really a rookie anymore, right? Like you don't really have to do call to closes. You can get into a house. You can, run the toolkit. You can quote, you can close. You're probably doing 10K plus months every single month, right? This is the agent who's been doing this for a little bit and they're just good, right? Like you really don't need much help. You don't need much coaching. You just do the job, right? You get up every day, go work the leads, finish up the day, and you're in a good spot, right? So that's the coverage closer. Now, this stage, guys, this is like the middle stage. This is the stage that a lot of agents get comfortable at. Okay, so what do I mean by that? If you've been an agent for a while now and you consistently hit the same numbers, right, which is a good thing, but maybe that's not, maybe you're not pushing yourself anymore. Maybe you're not going outside your comfort zone anymore, right? This is kind of like the comfortable stage where you know this business, you know how insurance works, you know all the carriers out there, the products, you know if you sit down with somebody, you're probably going to be able to help them. But this is the stage where sometimes if you're not careful, you get stuck on this stage for a long time because you do just enough to get by, right? The coverage closer stage is a stage where you've kind of mastered the presentation, the sale, but then you kind of you're like, what's next, right? Like, what's the next stage? How do I push myself to the next level? All right, that's this stage. This stage is experienced agents. Some people hang out here for a while. Some people move right on to the next one. But this is the stage where if you're feeling kind of cozy right now and you're realizing like, man, I've really not been pushing myself to that next level, you might be at this stage. All right, let's talk about the third stage. All right, this is a hard stage to hustle to. It's the power producer, all right, stage. This is when you know what you're doing, but now you're trying to bump it up a notch, right? I think back to 2019, I want to say it was. Yeah, probably 2019, like early 2020 part. And I remember like I was kind of at the coverage closer stage at that point, right? Like I didn't need help. I could go out there, close the deal. I didn't need coaching. I was good, right? But I was kind of like maxed at what I was doing. I was probably hitting like 15K months. All right. At that stage. And I wanted to get to like a power producer, right? I wanted to be doing 20, 25, 30, running 25 appointments in a week versus 12, right? So this stage is going from the coverage closer to the power producer. This is when you're so busy, you're working so hard. By the time you get home at night, you're exhausted, right? This is when you have so many leads coming in, you don't even know how much money you're spending on them. You're just working them as fast as they can come in. This is the stage that you're sitting with 6, 7 people in one day, right? I'm not talking about a week. I'm talking about you're presenting to 6 to 7 people in a day. All right. This is the power producer. This is the person that's going to be the top agent week in, week out, agent of the year, 200K plus a year, right? This is the person that is sitting and presenting to 20, 25, 30 people in a week. All right. So if any of you guys put that you were the last stage, right? The coverage closer stage, and you're trying to get yourself to this level, what do you got to do, right? You got to push. You got to put in some extra hours. You got to be booking appointments. All right. Just knocking on doors ain't going to cut it at this stage. You're not going to be able to sit with enough people. So you need to be door knocking. You need to be setting appointments. You need to be running some phone sales in between the appointments. You got to use every single tool at your disposal to be at this level. All right. And this is a level, it's like the elite, right? It's the next step up. It's the agents doing 20, 25, 30K plus months every single month. That's the power producer. All right. So one little tweak, stepping out of your comfort zone adding in appointments, adding in more leads, right? More hours in the work week is going to get you to this level. All right. But if you want to be classified at this level, you're sitting with a minimum of 15 people a week, probably 20 people plus a week, 5 to 7 people a day, either phone presenting or in person. So that's the power producer. I would challenge you guys, if you're a rookie right now, get to this level within 8 months. All right. That's where you want to be at right there. So let's talk about the next one. All right. This is the most difficult transition. All right. This is stage 4. It's the torchbearer stage. What do I mean by that? It means you've done the other stages and now you're passing the torch down. You're training and coaching other people to do this industry with you. All right, guys, this is the stage where you have a team with you. You have people locking arms with you, and you're actually building an agency. All right, this is the stage that everybody should strive to get to. All right, but this is the stage that if you're not focused on it, you're never going to get to this stage, right? What's the saying is the grass is greener wherever you water it. And sometimes, guys, as you're going through these first couple of stages, right? The rookie with the reason, the coverage closer, the power producer, sometimes you're focused so much on your production and not on the recruiting aspect that you never reach this stage. So this is the stage, guys, that you want to be at. This is the stage you want to try to run towards as you're doing your personal production as well. This is the stage where you're passing the torch down. Okay. You're duplicating what you do to other people. You can only get so far in this industry by yourself. All right, guys, but check it out. If you do, let's say you write $10,000 of business in a month. At the end of the year, you're going to be at 120 grand. Okay. But let's say you had 10 agents with you doing the same thing. You'd be at 1.2 million. Crazy, right? The difference there. But that's the stage that you want to run at, and you have to be focused on it. That's the torchbearer stage. You just take what you do, you put people in the car with you, or you sit them down at your desk with you, you make the dials or you knock on the doors, and you coach and train them to do the same thing. And you're passing the torch down. Think about a relay race, right? It takes the whole team to hit the finish line before you can win. That's what this stage is at. This is the stage that you've got to push out of your comfort zone and start doing, or you're going to be in the same spot year after year after year after year. Guys, if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. All right. That's just the way this business works. So if you do the same activity, you're going to get the same production. It's just the way it works, right? So if you focus on this, this is how you take your agency from just a one-person show to a team. All right. And this is the work, right? It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of practice at becoming that torchbearer, but you got to push yourself to do it, or you're going to only rely on your own effort forever. And nobody's ever built anything big by themselves. All right. So that's the torchbearer. And then the last stage, all right, that's the legacy leader stage. This is the stage that you should be running towards. This is the stage where you're not just impacting your life or a handful of people. You're impacting a lot of people. All right. You're the leader. You're the coach. Your effort, right, is compounded by the great people that are working with you on your team and on your in your agency. And it takes doing all 4 of the first stages to get to this point. But it's the point where you're actually leaving a legacy for your family, right? You've already probably risen through the ranks up here, right? You're hitting the partnership level. Your efforts are more helping your agents win versus just you winning, right? It's more about your team. It's more about taking somebody and transforming their life in this industry. At this stage, you probably have a handful of people who are already building, right? You've got a handful of torchbearers on your team already, and you've got a bunch of rookies with the reason. You got some coverage closers, power producers, right? And a handful of torchbearers, and you guys are building something significant together. All right. That's the legacy leader stage. Guys, that's the stage that you should run to get to as fast as possible, because this is the stage where you're changing your life, but you're also changing a lot of other people's lives as well. So those are the 5 stages of finding success as an agent. And each one requires different levels of focus. Each one requires different levels of attention, different levels of investment. And to get to each one of those, they all require personal growth from you, right? Your business can't outgrow you. So if you find yourself being stuck at one of those stages, you just can't bridge the gap to get up to the next one. It's something with you. You've got to learn something. You've got to grow in some way, shape, or form. You got to put your attention into something different. The more you grow personally, the more your business in this industry will grow with it. All right. But them are the stages, guys. You should run towards them. It's just like following those torches, right? Or those flares on the golf course. When it's foggy, it leads you in the right direction. Otherwise, you're just kind of running around like a hamster in a wheel. All right. Maybe you dabble in certain stages, but you never really jump into them. Maybe you tried going from a coverage closer to a power producer, but it just got too stressful, right? You saw the $3,000 you spent on leads and it kind of ate you up instead of seeing the 20 grand in commissions you made, right? Maybe maybe you went backwards. Maybe you were the power producer, right? And you started doing the torchbearer, but then you hired some agents and they just didn't work out. All right. And you got unmotivated and then you stopped doing it. And then you went back a level. Be focused, guys. Every single time you go to a different stage, there's going to be something that comes up that tries to stop you and tries to put you back on the other stage. There's going to be a roadblock that comes up. It's the devil's way of keeping you stuck. And you got to be really focused on ignoring that and continuing to push, continuing to show up for yourself if you want to be a legacy builder, which I know every single one of you possesses the capability to do that, right? God's called you here for a purpose. And I know that purpose is not just impacting your life, but impacting a lot of other people's in the process. So let's run to these 5 stages. Appreciate you guys for jumping on here. It's Tuesday. We'll have our normal call tomorrow, like usual. Let's go run, start this week off in a big fashion, and we will be back here tomorrow. Appreciate you guys.